Caesar has permitted your weapons to be returned to you while you serve him.
Yeah, it's about time.
Caesar has put a lot of trust in you. Be worth it.
I don't know why he's putting his trust in me.
Our way, true to Caesar.
They seem like tough guys. I don't want to look into Veronica's inventory. I'm not sure she has all the weapons back. The console hums quietly, powered by some unknown source. There's a round slot on the console about the size of a large poker chip. Insertion. Let's go, babe. Securitron Vault. Yeah, all the weapon slots are lost again. And do I have steam packs? Oh my god. Radiation area. Radical, usually. I get a paragraph of that. Radical. No. Ooh.
Well, you're here ahead of schedule. I suppose it's just as well. This is where I wanted you to end up after all. I knew I could rely on Caesar to give you back the platinum chip.
How? What makes you think Caesar gave me the chip?
The platinum chip unlocks this bunker. Hence, you have it. Hence, Benny was captured or killed, possibly by you, but by my estimates, far more probably by Caesar's legion. Hence, Caesar gave you the chip. Hence, Caesar wants you to destroy whatever you find in this bunker. But that's not going to happen, because you're going to work for me.
Yeah, I don't get this. I would get this if I was some kind of a allied legion of me. But at this point, when I've basically been hostile towards them, why would I be the one sent here? Even if it has security, surely they're not afraid to send some of their guys here. Or send me plus some legion. Sending me alone here doesn't make sense to me. That's what I wanted to ask about Mr. House. Not the blatantly obvious that he's talking about, but why would Caesar give me the chip instead of using it to gain access here himself or for his legion? Why me? What is this place?
It's a facility I built many years before you were born. You might think of it as a kind of barracks. You'll understand soon enough.
So you wanted me to come down here.
That's rather obvious, isn't it? The platinum chip is a data storage device. I need you to manually upload the data from the chip to the facility's primary computer. There's a terminal at the other end of this facility. There's a complication. While I can broadcast to this screen, I can't control any of the facility's systems. That means I can't deactivate its security bots, most of which appear to be active according to the status board I'm looking at.
Yeah, what was that about the security systems?
The same equipment failure that prevents me from remotely operating this facility seems to have activated its security robots and turrets. There's a security room near the base of the stairs. Perhaps you can deactivate them yourself.
What will you do with the Securitrons?
My army will do what an army does best: defend territory from invaders and maintain order.
I'll upload the data.
Good. I won't hold you up any longer.
Neutrals, hostiles. Plasma rifle. Oh. Protectron operations, turret operations, sentry bot operations. Yeah. That's nothing. Turret operations. Horse. Cancel security alert. Turrets reverting to standby mode. Cancel security alert. Protectron standing down. So this should be easy peasy for us. Okay, this junction box could be rewired to override the security door controls, disconnecting it from the automated security system. Rewire. Yeah. Why did I want this open?
Do not interfere with security operations.
I guess I could deactivate them at the moment, but do I want to? Yeah. So there's an army of Securitrons here.
Move along, please. Move along, please.
you... If we would do what the Caesar says, I guess we would need to destroy all these generators. Cause a security alarm, have to fight against everything. This is what we need to use. So what is this? There are other sections of the same bolt there, so probably access to these Securitrons. This is the Securitron Operations Console for the Securitron Vault. Software updates can be installed from this console. Okay, install the Platinum chip, install the Mark II upgrade software. Yep, new base. What does that mean in reality? Okay, we're done here. Security is still active.
Move along, please.
I don't know if I want to even try to fight my way out of it. Veronica is very likely to get into deep trouble, and so am I. I think we at least want to deal with Benny first.
Your work here is done. Return to the Lucky 38 so we can discuss next steps. You have a very bright future ahead of you. Thanks to your actions today, so does the rest of mankind.
You've carried out Caesar's will, but I must confiscate your equipment again. You're free to leave.
So we have our trusty pistol with us.
Away.
They have 12.7mm submachine guns, melee weapons, fairly good guns, weaponry and melee weaponry. That seems to be their thing. So you have to take them seriously.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again. You must enter Caesar's tent.
Should have brought something to read.
I felt the ground shake a while ago. I'll take that as a sign you've got the job done. There are rewards for doing as I command. Today, your reward is vengeance. You get to decide how Benny dies. Go to Benny. Let him know what you've decided. My Praetorians will perform the execution, unless you want to perform it yourself.
Thank you, Caesar.
Consider it the first of many bestowments.
Time to die.
So, baby, what did you find down there?
Hundreds of Securitrons, all of them upgraded now, just like Mr. House wants.
So, all this time, the old man had an entire army on layaway? Clever player. Just imagine the look on Baldy's face when those Securitrons come pouring out on Judgment Day. I'd pay to have that bronzed. So all you gotta do is talk to Yes Man. Figure out how to set things in motion. Make Vegas a town I would have been proud of, baby. Let it swing.
Yeah, I have to decide what happens to you now.
I see. And how's that gonna happen?
I'm going to kill you here now.
I see. Keep it simple, eh? Around here, it's one of the better options.
Close your eyes if you want.
Nah, I'd rather see it coming. Do it, baby. Make it clean.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm gonna look him in the face when doing it. Any? Don't avoid it. He had the goddamn common decency to look me in the face when he did it. I'll turn the favor.
A fair kill.
Ooh, a pistol of 9mm, crappy pistol, but how does Benny's suit look on me? Yeah, the pistol we have now is much better, so might want to take a look at that. It's improved version of 9mm.
True to Kaiser.
I might want to give it a chance, but it's still crappier than one weapon we have. Light shining in darkness. Better damage, better DPS. Damage is about 50% or more higher. Damage is, DPS is double. Damage is about 50% more. So there's no goddamn way in hell I'm gonna use Maria for anything. It requires no skill though, so anyone can use it. This requires 75. Yeah, it's worth it. We have a machine. Yeah, I wanted to see how his suit looks on me. Yeah. Move. Using that.
I'm sure you found Benny's demise pleasing. The destruction of an enemy? There are few things more satisfying. Let's press on, shall we? As I was telling you before, I want Mr. House out of the picture. You have an interest in his death, too. If he knows that you destroyed his gadgets beneath the fort, he will strike back. You know where to find him. How he dies, I leave up to you.
I especially dislike this. They should have made this the path for the Allied Legion and make something different for everyone else. Because Kaiser is not an idiot. He was followers of the Apocalypse, highly trained, highly knowledgeable. There's no reason for him to trust me to this extent. I'm sure they're keeping an eye out on me, but he has such obvious blind spots that it breaks immersion. You know you're on the Blood Railroad at this point. Well, it's a game. You have to make sacrifices somewhere. Focus your resources where it just does the most good. Maybe someone with a bit more imagination would have come up with a few dialogue options that would sort of Maybe you need to make some kind of speed check or something to be able to get him to trust you this much. And if you don't, you have to you're going to be baggage with some kind of Legion agent to make sure that you cooperate. And you might even have to it might go to hostile very soon if you don't. So options. I'll eliminate Mr. Houseway.
Good. Don't know what kind of security he has inside the Lucky 38, but if you can find a way of catching him off guard, do so.
It's... yeah.
Our way, true to Caesar.
Aw, just when the standing around was getting exciting.
Yeah, let's get the hell out of this hellhole. I don't give a shit about these people, I just want to get out. I'm not going to try to save slaves or anything like that. Yeah, I think the game crashed. No, it's just this transition. It stops for a long time before it continues. So we can... yeah, we can probably quick travel, but we don't have our weapons, so...
You're funny looking.
Children being trained as soldiers. Yeah, I have zero confidence in my ability to try to convince any of these people by talking to them. They've been trained basically from children in this system. It's hopeless.
Awe, are you ready to return to Cottonwood Cove?
Let's go.
Very well.
Okay, we should have our equipment back. And you have the... probably. I'm getting a bit tired to having to redo all these again and again. On the other hand, I know where I want to put them, so it's not too much of a problem, but I wish I didn't have to do this. I need to eat something. Still have the wasteland omelette. Why is finding food so hard? I don't want to eat the salad. Ooh, cook sweet stew. That's good enough. Kill Mr. House. Report back to Mr. House. Deliver platinum chip to Mr. House. Return to Yes Man. Kill or disable Mr. House. I guess in many ways I see there might be an improvement in the situation if I decided to do it myself instead of Mr. House. And that simply is that he wants to have very tight control on everything. Allow the New Vegas to swing, baby. So there might be a case for us to try to take over. I don't really care. I really don't care. As a character, it's
Our way.
just not something I'm all that interested in doing. Problem is everyone else seems to be very interested in. Veronica cares about these settlements and communities. Cass cares about them. She just has strong opinions about the region, but she's patriotic, so NCR in that sense would be a good option. Veronica might prefer going our own way. Because I'm not all that much of a patriot. I'm just counter Legion. I think we need to talk to Yes Man and Mr. House. Yes Man to confirm our plan. But we do want Mr. House to upgrade all the existing Securitrons. The problem with the current Securitrons is that they're not all that dangerous. Even Victor from the first town basically was scared of, what, 4 or 5 guys that had small weapons. I'm saving now just in case she loses the goddamn rifle again.
Hey, baby doll. Welcome to the Tops Hotel. Oh, and now have a good.
The way I hear it, some big leaguer NCR Rangers are coming to town to dance a two-step all over Caesar's head.
Okay, where was the access? Wonder what type of upgrades are we talking about? Where the hell is Yes Man? Okay, if this... Who the hell is Yes Man?
Ring a ding, baby.
Huh.
Don't you just love that platinum chip? Buzzes with power and possibilities, doesn't it? If I were you, I'd almost want to deliver the chip to Mr. House, just to learn all its tricks. That is, unless you want to bring the NCR or Caesar's Legion to power. I wouldn't want to tell you what to do.
What was Benny planning to do with it?
Oh, he wanted to kill Mr. House and use the platinum chip to copy my neurocomputational matrix onto the Lucky 38's mainframe. That would give me control over all of Mr. House's defenses, most prominently his Securitrons. And then I guess I just do as I'm told.
Yeah, I already know that. I was interested in what was his plan. Let the things be upgraded and then do it, or just go try to get control of everything immediately. Can that actually be done?
Sure! If the chip can be used to reset administrator privileges, it'll be super easy.
But
don't stay away too long.
yeah, these are definitely the same Securitrons.
Well, howdy, partner. Good to see you again. Boss is waiting for you upstairs, so get a move on. I see you brought a friend. Sorry, partner, but they're gonna have to stay outside. Go.
Aw, just...
And she has to run. Yeah, just don't look in the inventory.
Should have brought something to read.
Where to, partner?
Penthouse.
Mr. House is just pleased as punch you got those old Securitrons back online, sugar.
Snow globe.
You do? Why, that's just wonderful. I'll take it and put it with the rest of the collection.
So...
I take it you've come to deliver the platinum chip?
here you go.
Such a small thing, isn't it? And yet so capacious, so very dear. Decades of hiring salvagers out west to search for this little relic in the ruins of a place called Sunnyvale. Back then, anyway. That's where the chip was printed, on October 22nd, 2077. It was to have been hand-delivered to me here at the Lucky 38 the next day. But the bombs fell first. Suffice it to say, the delivery was never made.
What does the chip do exactly?
Yes, so far as you've seen, all it does is change the picture on the Securitron's face screens from policemen to soldiers. But as you'll see, some things are more easily shown than told. Take the elevator all the way down to the bottom level, and you'll see what I mean. Don't worry, you'll like what you see. We have much to accomplish, you and I. step closer to the demonstration area, if you would. I expect you're well familiar with my Securitrons by now. The titanium alloy housing that protects its electronic core deflects small arms and shrapnel easily enough. Its X-25 Gatling laser, produced to spec by Glastinghouse Inc., is deadly against soft targets at medium range. And for close-range suppression or crowd control, the Securitron is armed with a 9mm submachine gun. All of this you probably already knew. What you did not know is that these are the Securitron's secondary weapons. All this time, my Securitrons have had to get by running the Mark I operating system, which lacked software drivers for their primary weapons. Today, with the delivery of the Platinum chip, all that changes. Behold, for the first time, Securitrons running the Mark II OS. The M235 missile launcher gives the Securitron the ability to engage ground and air targets at significantly longer ranges. And a rapid-fire G-28 grenade launcher ensures the Securitron is deadly in close-range engagements. The software upgrade also includes drivers for the Securitron's highly sophisticated on-board auto-repair systems. Altogether, the Mark II software upgrade confers a 235% increase in combat effectiveness per unit. The city of New Vegas finally has soldiers worthy of protecting it. Return to the penthouse now. We have much to discuss. Trips to the basement are rarely so educational, don't you think? I've since broadcast the upgrade to every Securitron in range of my transmitters, and I must say, it's causing quite a stir down on the Strip.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. You can deal with the single target weaponry. Regenerating missile and grenade spamming opponents are quite another thing. That's probably heavier weaponry that I've seen on any robot so far. Maybe excluding the most dangerous Sentry bot versions that have a missile launcher and a Gatling laser. Do you think the Securitrons can defeat the Caesar's Legion and the NCR? I don't think so. I don't think he does either.
Why would I want to go to war against the NCR? They're my best customers. If their leaders weren't scheming to steal Vegas out from under me, I'd have no troubles with the NCR at all. The foundation is laid. My Securitrons on the Strip are upgraded, and those at the fort ready for action. Now it's just a matter of adjusting the attitudes of some lesser groups, while we wait for Caesar's Legion to attack Hoover Dam.
So what's the next step?
Outside New Vegas, at what was once called Nellis Air Force Base, resides an unusual tribe known as the Boomers. They are, shall we say, aggressively reclusive. They have several howitzers they fire at anyone who dares approach the base. Artillery of this sort has a range of several miles. If it's going to fire on Hoover Dam, I want it firing at my targets. If not, then I want to make sure that the Boomers don't sign similar treaties to fire their guns in support of the NCR or Caesar's Legion.
Questions?
What did you want to discuss?
How will NCR defend the Hoover Dam?
General Oliver's strategy, or tunnel vision, as I like to call it, has been to mass troops at Hoover Dam. He wants to outfight the Legion in a straightforward slugging match, and then, when they rout, pursue and destroy them in detail. A crushing, decisive victory of this sort would overshadow the tactical ingenuity of Chief Hanlon's defense 4 years ago, you see.
So what's the battle plan?
A good deal should be obvious to you by now. I won't spoil the rest by talking out of turn. What else did you want to discuss?
Yeah, the decisive battle thing is I don't think that's been a thing for a long time. It's more about controlling area and small scale skirmishes. You don't want to plan for one big fight and that'll solve everything. Because it's going to be a huge casualties for both sides. You want to, in a situation where you can cause massive casualties to the enemy while minimizing your own, that probably requires high firepower and mobility, not something like let's fortify this place and just sit around doing nothing while we wait for the enemy. Okay. What are your plans for New Vegas?
I've resurrected Vegas, spirit intact. What I need now is the ability to enforce my rightful claim. Not just against Caesar's Legion, by the way. In fact, the NCR is a more present and insidious threat.
How?
To enforce, one must have force, a position of strength. Years ago, when I detected NCR scouts roaming the Mojave, I could tell from their uniforms that these were no mere tribesmen. I knew it was only a matter of time before an army appeared to take control of the dam, and I knew my Securitrons wouldn't be enough to oppose them. And so I recruited the 3 families. Vegas belongs to me because I mustered enough strength to bring the NCR to the bargaining table.
Yeah, was it still enough to threaten the NCR army?
Indeed it was, and still is, but not without taking significant casualties. Would Kimball and Oliver have traded the lives of hundreds of soldiers for absolute control of Hoover Dam? Oh, yes. They weren't afraid of me. They were afraid of Caesar, that attacking me would leave them vulnerable to a Legion offensive. And so they negotiated, not out of the kindness of their hearts, as they try to make it seem, because the calculus of power left no other choice.
What were the terms?
NCR forces were permitted to occupy Hoover Dam and establish a military base at McCarran Airport. Well, it used to be one. They recognized my sovereignty over the Vegas Strip and agreed to supply electricity and water once their engineers repaired the dam. Written into the treaty were provisions that the NCR do nothing to prevent its soldiers and civilians from visiting the Strip. That's how I harness the NCR to my endeavor. Their occupation has been the engine of my growing economy.
Do you go to war against NCR?
The salient issue is that they will go to war with me, if given the chance. There's just one reason why the NCR hasn't contrived some outrage to justify invading the Strip. Caesar's Legion. The final battle between those 2 armies is fast approaching. I can't afford to let either side win on their terms. What else did you want to discuss?
So you keep control of New Vegas. What happens next?
New Vegas is more than a city. It's the remedy to mankind's derailment. The city's economy is a blast furnace in which can be forged the steel of a new rail line running straight to a new horizon. What is the NCR? A society of people desperate to experience comfort, ease, luxury. A society of customers. With all that money pouring in? Give me 20 years and I'll reignite the high technology development sectors. 50 years and I'll have people in orbit. 100 years and my colony ships will be heading for the stars to search for planets unpolluted by the wrath and folly of a bygone generation.
So in the meantime, you'd be some kind of dictator of Vegas.
I prefer the term autocrat. I would rule as a chief executive. I would not answer to a board of directors or any other entity. Nothing to impede progress. If you want to see the fate of democracies, look out the windows.
What's keeping you from abusing your power?
My judgment. I have no interest in abusing others, just as I have no interest in legislating or otherwise dictating what people do in their private time. Nor have I any interest in being worshipped as some kind of machine god messiah. I am impervious to such corrupting ambitions. But autocracy? Firm control in the hands of a technological and economic visionary? Yes, that Vegas shall have. What else did you want to discuss?
What's the deal with the snow globe collection?
What of it? I enjoy them. There's something about a little diorama set inside a glass dome that I find pleasing. If you run across any out in the wastes, turn them in to Jane. She'll compensate you. What else did you want to discuss?
Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay, I think we're at the point where, yeah, we can make our own move. Side bets. They concern boomers, great khans, omertas, white glove society. Brotherhoods of Steel. So not all that many. The 3 families and a few outside major factors.
Hello again.
Aw, just when the standing around was getting exciting. Ooh, got something good for me? Is it a dress?
I don't really have a dress. Pick my microfusion cells. Maria. Yeah, I think we're going to be at odds against Mr. House, just because we have Veronica and Cass with us. Here's the problem. We can convince boomers to side with us, that's not a problem. They'll take the opportunity, they trust me, and they want to bump the living shit out of everything, so it's not exactly a huge deal to get them to side with us. I think they already have started with us. I don't think Brotherhood of Steel will do that. At least not if we're allied with Mr. House. And I don't think Veronica is gonna stand with us if we go on a killing spree in the Brotherhood of Steel bunker or self-destructed or something. So it's just a matter of time before we're going to run into obstacles there. So at this point we could take out Mr. House pretty much. I don't see it staying alive to him providing any benefits at this point. So I want to do something else.
Excuse me, but are you the courier who caused all of that trouble in the Tops?
Yes.
Oh, great. The followers of the Apocalypse, well, some of us anyway, have been interested in Mr. House's technology, how he stays alive. Of course, no one else is allowed inside the Lucky 38, so no one knows what's going on. Well, except for you.
And this is where I come in?
Right. We just want to find out what sort of technology Mr. House has used to stay alive for all these years. It could be of great benefit to the people we try to help, many of whom suffer from hard-to-diagnose illnesses.
So are you paying me for this?
Oh, no, that wasn't really what we had in mind. We were hoping you would just, you know, help us, to be helpful.
Sure, I'm on it.
Really? Oh, I wasn't expecting you to agree so easily. That's great. Here, take this packet sniffer. It'll allow us to intercept data on Mr. House's network. You might have to manually remove the encryption from his data network, but hopefully you won't have too much trouble. Good luck.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I want to deal with Emeritus now, but before that, I want to visit the Mormon fort.
Thank you for visiting New Vegas.
Their services were used to program Yes Man, so I want to see if they have something extra to tell us. I think it was Julie Parkus. Why do I have to constantly keep doing this? I think there's a way, I mean, as in mod, way to stop needing to do this. But again, you can mod a lot of things away, but it also, I don't want to add too many mods in that game. It's inherent they're not compatible. They might not change the same thing, so they theoretically should be compatible, but in the way the mods are usually made, the person who made them wanted to do that one thing and didn't give all that much consideration about compatibility issues with other mods. So you can't just slap on. You can't just slap on a huge amount of mods and hope that everything keeps working normally. They don't. You have to have a special program to sort of manage the mods. Then, and the more you start piling them up, the more complicated it gets. It's not a huge problem once you've done it once. You sort of get used to it. You know the systems, you know how they're managed, you know how to manage things in a way that you will maintain the original game and you basically have a fairly clean installation of all the mods, so they don't cause trouble. But there's always... the more you keep piling them up, the chances are that more things will break in some way. It might not be game breaking or
We've got
instability
stuff we're not
causing,
even allowed to sell,
but
people. Only at Mick and Ralph's.
there's gonna be oddities. Certain things like visuals are fairly harmless, no matter how many of you use, as long as they don't alter the same things. But when you're getting into gameplay, then you want to minimize the amount of mods you use. The severity of the changes is pretty inconsequential, actually. Because people usually just at least make sure that their own mod isn't going to cause trouble. So in many ways it's preferable to have a single huge mod that does all the things you want, than try to have a collection of mods that amount to the same thing. Unless the people who made the collection put some work in to make things compatible.
Evening.
Where the hell is she? It's in the night, so she might be sleeping. So, Julie... might be that she doesn't know anything, or at least doesn't say anything. It's just that she's mentioned.
Emily says you're working with her on bugging the Lucky 38. That information would be invaluable to our research if you can get it done.
Can I talk to you about the Yes Man? No.
What did you want to know? What?
So, she's just mentioned Benny's friend who did the programming on Yes Man. But I can't actually talk to her about it. I don't really like that I can't really know what's going on there. What did she do overall? I'm sure the game won't make an issue out of it, but still like to know.
Hey, you're the one who's been going around helping people around here, right? The king says to keep up the good work, and said to give you this.
Yeah, thanks. I think we'll go to the Gomorrah and deal with the murders. After that, we'll head for the final DLC. Yeah. Well, we could deal with all the minor factions, make sort of our choices there, and position ourselves for the last stage, but I don't think it matters at this point, because we've already made our choice. We are not going to side with NCR or the Legion. We're mainly in the war to get rid of Legion, and we'll probably...
Hey, for the Brotherhood!
She's not very good with that weapon. She
Ooh, got
properly
something good for
sucks.
me? Is it a dress?
I think she's not using it as with the sniping scope. She's just shooting from the hip, and it's not a good weapon for that. You need to use the fudge. 10mm pistol, really?
Yes! Finally!
Yeah, you need to use the scope or it's sort of pointless. Where would we get a we could get a lair for you. And do a little bit of quick traveling here. Yeah, I think we'll do a few of the side factions. Maybe we could try to ally with the Khans. Maybe with as many New Vegas factions as we possibly can. Because Khans are hostile toward NCR. Boomers don't give a crap. Brotherhood of Steel. Yeah, they're hostile too. They don't hate them, but they're certainly wouldn't mind going on their own path. Q35 Matter Modulator. This might be the thing. Strength 2. Do a trade.
Ooh, got something good for me? Is it a dress?
Yes, it's a dress.
Does jumping at them with my fit?
Yeah. It should be good enough. Okay, we're dumping what? Maria. Full rifle. Maria, you're a great 9mm pistol. Problem is, you're a 9mm pistol. To check the ammunition situation. Yeah, we have a lot of ammunition. We don't really have all that much use for. Well, a lot may be an exaggeration there. Government hollow point. Okay. Let's go handle the Omertas.